I'm going to teach you how I manifested $10,000 effortlessly. I didn't visualize. I didn't say a single affirmation. I didn't pretend to be rich. And I didn't live in the end result. And in this video, I'm going to show you exactly what I did so that you can do the same whenever you'd like. This is rooted in neuroscience, not pressure. My name is Giselle Beaumay. I'm a neuroscience master's grad candidate and a coach, and I get to work with brilliant women leaders, coaches, and founders as I help them open up to abundance with ease by removing the blocks that prevent it using my neural spiritual method. Here's why for a very, very long time, visualization didn't work for me. I grew up in poverty. I grew up in scarcity. I grew up in fear. I grew up in lack. I grew up with trauma. I didn't know how to visualize a different world, a different reality. I had never experienced it. I couldn't grasp it. I could not visualize it. I literally had not lived in any way whatsoever what I was trying to manifest. So it created distance, not connection. And even when I tried, my nervous system was so familiar with the opposite that it could not safely attach itself to it. It felt foreign. It really did not feel familiar. And I realized that if it did not feel safe in my body, I would not feel safe in receiving the very thing that I was wanting to manifest. I would block it. I would sabotage it. I would make sure in some way, shape, or form that I did not receive it, even though I did not realize that that's exactly what was happening. And I see this being true for the women leaders, founders, and coaches that I often work with. You will often justify yourself so much, and at the same time, you are preventing, blocking, and sabotaging your abundance. But in your mind, you've made sense. Protective mechanisms. We have often, as leaders, you have often been taught to strive, and you do that really well, but not always to receive with ease. Now today, I can visualize really well. I often still use this method. It's grounded in neural spiritual method, which uses subconscious programming, nervous system regulation, and brain rewiring. I focused on frequency, not a fantasy. So not what do I want to happen, but yes, how do I want to feel in receiving more? And very importantly, in receiving more with ease, not in receiving more with more work or more stress or less time, but receiving more with ease. I spoke the language that felt emotionally safe, in alignment with that, not forced. And here's what I mean. Often, success means more time, more work, more on your body, more on your emotions. Because we've been taught that hard work gives us more success. And then to keep that success, you have to keep going, or else you can lose it. Or you even reach a level of success, but then it doesn't feel like it's enough. Again, based in lack or based in scarcity. So for you to say something like, success is easy, but your nervous system's going, no, it's not, you won't feel safe in receiving it. So instead of forcing yourself to say something that goes in complete contradiction to your nervous system, you can change the wording. So I would pause throughout the day and I would speak this language to myself. I am learning that success feels at ease. I am learning that money is attracted to me. I am learning that money flows easily for me. I am learning that I am so good at manifesting money. Eventually, that changed to, I am so good at manifesting money. Success is easy for me. Success feels like ease in my body. But I didn't start that way. So you start with the wording that you can speak in agreement to your nervous system. This places you in that frequency of abundance. Now, because it was so foreign to me to manifest money with ease and to manifest at the time $10,000 with ease, I had to do certain things. So I placed myself where I could see the reality to be true for others, and I placed myself in that reality so that I could become familiar with it. But not just that, there's the neuroscience to that. As I placed myself in those different realities, and I felt the emotion of what that could be like for me, I was activating my reticular activating system. So the more I did that and made that my norm, the more my brain said, I will prove you right. I will easily lead you into that reality and merge into it. So how did I practice this? I changed my environment. I left the environment I was in and I would go to a different environment where I would observe people having abundance with ease. And I placed myself in their reality by simply being there. I shopped at different stores, even if I couldn't at the time get the things that they were also getting, I would get the small things that they could get. I took actions that showed my brain that manifesting $10,000 or more are easy for me. So I tracked whenever I would receive any sort of money, even if it was a discount, a gift, or actual money. And when I tracked it, I embodied the emotion. So it was not just words on a paper or words on my notepad. It was an emotion. I anchored it to an emotion. And I chose an emotion where it felt excitement, because I had felt excitement in my life, even in lack and scarcity. So I knew what that emotion felt like, and I anchored it to receiving money with ease. So I was changing my environment. I was anchoring it with proof of how it was showing up in my life, even if it was in what people would consider really small ways. I still use that as proof, because that part of your brain that says, I'll prove you right, it responds to the feeling that you feel consistently. So every time that you're shifting your emotional frequency in these ways, you're activating it to say, I'll prove you right. I will lead you there. I continue that frequency by holding sacred my practices. So what regulates my nervous system? I use somatic practices such as breath work and movements. I also used meditation, and I held them to a sacred space, meaning I prioritized them in my life, especially the first 30 minutes that I woke up, because I'm most programmable during that time of the day, as well as right before I fall asleep. And so are you. I didn't act rich. I didn't pretend to be rich. I didn't fake it till I made it. I literally just shifted frequencies. And I did it primarily by those 3 ways. So I didn't need to visualize. I didn't need to write a whole bunch of affirmations. I did not need to do a ton of manifestation methods. I just entered the frequency. Now, it didn't mean that you can't have any emotion other than just positive emotions. Be human. When you have other emotions, if you're feeling sad, if you're feeling doubtful, if you're feeling fear, acknowledge them. Have the range to be able to cry it out and then shift that frequency again after you've given it that space. You're not breaking anything by having a human experience. You are still able to flow through the various emotions that will come up in your life, and then shift right back to the frequency that you desire. Consistency, not perfection. It's okay to be human. You are still a manifester, an amazing manifester. So I manifested the $10,000 through presence, not pressure. I did not chase it. I entered the frequency of it. And I knew that money amplifies. So I wanted money to amplify the frequency that I was entering for it. It felt exciting. It felt at ease. It felt fun. Those are the things that are the energy of money. And the $10,000 was just part of that reality. And that reality was just part of that frequency. Now, I hope you do this in a very guided way in my 14-day challenge that I have in my free community. Every day for just a few minutes a day, because I know you're busy. For just a few minutes a day, you're going to connect to that frequency and through your intuition. So you don't have to do it alone. You can do it through the guided process. So if you haven't started it, go to the link and join the community and start that process, because you are majestic. You are so much more powerful than you realize. And I cannot wait for you to realize it.